Hi there, Rebus forever here. I've been taking a look at Voidship: The Long Journey. I love me some tiny little indie space games. I spent an inordinate amount of time playing Battle Void Harbinger, and I regret nothing, except perhaps that the sequel could have been better. When I saw this game that seems to be touting multi-generational epic spacefaring with a description that reads, "Design your battleship and fight your way through unforgiving space. This is a tale of a lone spaceship on a centuries-long mission. As the captain, you'll make strategic decisions, explore unknown sectors, meet allies and enemies, gather resources, technology and crew. 2 battle stations." That's the sort of description that will get me pretty intrigued in a game. The plot being very similar to lots of these sort of long-term space games, a bit AI Wars, a bit FTL. The human empire is in shambles and we've got to do some sort of something. It's pretty safe to assume that something's going to involve getting from point A to point C with numerous point Bs along the way. I'm trying to enjoy the story in the game, but the opportunity to do so seems to be pretty sparse because I've not really encountered any major story points since beginning playing the game. The features are build your own ship, which is great, except building your own ship seems to amount to building various different types of square. Space travel taking time? Well, this game certainly does take time. Your crew do age and die, but their existence beforehand is somewhat meaningless, so their death just becomes a process of replacing one for another. Uniquely skilled crew members? Yep, the game does have this, but their skills seem largely unimportant. Some give you an ability that I largely ignore. Maybe useful in like 5% of the occasions where the game presents you with an opponent that warrants such use. Tradition systems. This really intrigued me because I love the idea of there being some sort of societal narrative, a bit like in Frostpunk. But again, this is all fairly arbitrary and occurs as a byproduct of there being pretty basic yes or no style questions. Do this or do that, and then you get a societal achievement. You can play RTS or shooter mode. One enables you to fly around as if it's a bit of an asteroid type clone. The RTS mode takes all of the hassle out and enables your guns to fire on auto mode. I play almost exclusively like this because there's almost no need for the other one. And there is indeed real-time 2D space combat. You do indeed get to battle against a huge variety of unique enemy spaceships. Their uniqueness rather lost by the fact that they all seem to operate in very much the same way. Randomly generated maps and roguelike gameplay, each playthrough a new world to explore. Yes, but again, all of the worlds are almost entirely indistinct, and in terms of world, we're talking about a series of dots on a map. And when you zoom in to those dots, they become a sector that is equally indistinguishable. And there's mods, which I'm hoping will save this game, but that's not what I'm going to be talking about today. Obviously I sound pretty down on the game. I have to be honest, it is a much more clicky affair than I was expecting. The notion of being on like a multi-generational ship and developing it as I go felt like it would be a much more ponderous, thoughtful affair. With the battles in this game feeling, as I say, like a high-powered game of asteroids, or perhaps the loneliest real-time strategy game. And with the ship customization ultimately only really ending in one destination, i.e. the square shape that they allow you to grow into. My dreams of building like a Star Destroyer or even a Millennium Falcon that makes some sort of sense, or any spaceship that looks like anything aside from a Borg cube, I've found to be sadly beyond my grasp. I am determined to get through one game, at least to complete it, and maybe my feelings on the game will improve over time. But unless you are looking for effectively like a game of asteroids with a greater sense of progression, but no less repetition, then this game could be for you. All credit to the indie developers. There is an interesting idea here. I'm just not entirely sure that the game mechanics support that idea very well. I wouldn't for a second let my experiences with this game impair my judgment of any future games that this company puts out. I really do think with some of the really simple space games that I can enjoy, that probably this is more about me than about this game. There is masses of repetition, but if you enjoy the core gameplay, that's almost just a positive. For now though, if you like your space combat slow, ponderous, epic, probably avoid this game. And also I've had quite a few bugs of things sort of skipping all over the place or appearing to exist in multiple dimensions at once. I think when the game spawns you into a sector in the cluster of baddies, and there's absolutely zero time before the enemy take out your shields, and you're forced to raise the end of your sentences a lot when you're describing this to people on an internet video. That kind of just breaks what little enjoyment I have been able to get from the experience, which is a shame. Without these cheaper moments of the game just destroying a key system on board your ship before you've even got any time to react, perhaps the grind to get to the point where you have those systems that get so cruelly snatched from you would be a little bit more enjoyable and less stressful. If they could make it so that when you launched into a battle the game was automatically paused, that would be fantastic. Maybe not enough to make me enjoy the game, but if you already enjoy the game, it will improve your existence. Anyway, just a little video from me. I'm gonna crack on with something else. Toodle pip.